If you own a Can-Am Spyder RT, then you've probably noticed that when you're going around corners, the bike can feel a bit top heavy. This uncomfortable feeling is even more prominent when riding with a passenger. Now this is because the factory sway bar allows the bike's body to roll more, which can create a feeling of floatiness or sloppiness in the handling. In addition to that, the factory sway bar end links are made of plastic, which can flex under spirited riding. And if we take a look at the stock plastic bushings, you can see how they start to stretch and elongate over time, which may lead to reduced stability, handling, and overall ride quality. Now to address this issue, we've partnered up with the team over at Baja Ron to bring you a 3-piece aftermarket performance sway bar kit along with replacement aluminum end links. This sway bar uses spring steel that will drastically improve the responsiveness of the bike and make the Spyder feel more nimble and agile when cornering or at high speeds. The straight sway bar design ensures a consistent diameter along its entire length, which means it has a uniform stiffness or torsional resistance to twisting. Now the sway bar features Ren bushings. Ren is a high-strength plastic that is resistant to wear, corrosion, and deformation and can outlast both rubber and polyurethane bushings. It includes 2 billet aluminum arms, one on each side. These arms are available in several different colors to complement your Spyder's color profile. When upgrading to this more robust sway bar, you'll also want to swap out the factory end links to something a bit more beefy. So we also have Baja Ron end links that feature a billet aluminum link body, chromoly rod ends, 303 stainless steel spacers, and self-lubricating bearings. The end links are also available in several different colors to add a pop of color to your bike. Now that you know what this product is and what it can do for you, allow us to walk you through the install on our Shop 2024 RT Limited.
Make sure that you're parked on level ground, your parking brake is engaged, and that you've allowed your engine adequate time to cool prior to installation. Please note that if you do not have access to a lift, you'll need floor jacks or a scissor jack that's capable of providing you with 24 inches of clearance between the ground and the bottom of the sway bar channel, so that you'll have adequate clearance when removing the factory sway bar. Start by removing the 2 plastic cover panels on the underside of the bike. Use a T30 Torx wrench to remove the screw located here. Then use a push pin removal tool to remove the 3 remaining fasteners located here. Carefully remove the cover panel from the bike and repeat on other side. Remove the plastic cover panel located here by removing these 4 push pins with a push pin removal tool. Use a 10mm wrench and 10mm socket with ratchet to remove the stiffener bolt, nut, and spacer on both sides of the sway bar channel. Please note that the factory stiffener bolt hardware will be reused. Then use the same tools to remove the bushing block bolt, nut, and washer on both sides of the sway bar channel. Again, the factory hardware will be reused in this location. Slide the sway bar from side to side so that you can dislodge the factory bushing blocks from both sides. Use a 13mm wrench and 13mm ratcheting wrench to remove the 2 bolts and nuts holding in the factory plastic end link so that you can remove it. Then repeat to remove the end link on the other side of the bike. With the sway bar arms hanging straight down, slide the sway bar as far as possible to one side of the bike so that you can remove it from the channel. Grab one of the Baja Ron bushing blocks included with your kit. Make sure that the side of the bushing block with the slit is facing up and insert it into the sway bar channel so that the bolt hole in the block aligns with the bolt hole in the channel. Insert one of the factory bushing block bolts all the way through and top it off with the factory washer and nut on the backside, finger tight for now. Insert the Baja Ron sway bar in from the opposing side so that it slides through the bushing block you just installed. Slide the remaining bushing block around the sway bar and into the channel. Again, make sure that the side of the bushing block with the slit is facing up. Then align the hole in the block with the hole in the channel. Insert the remaining factory bushing block bolt all the way through and top it off with the factory washer and nut on the backside, finger tight for now. Rotate the sway bar so that the pinch points on both sides are facing towards the front and rear of the bike, like so. Install one of the stiffener spacers you removed earlier and reuse the factory stiffener bolt and nut to hold it in place, finger tight for now. Then repeat on other side. Locate the billet sway bar arm for the left side of the bike, then use a 3/16 Allen wrench to remove the screw on the hex side of the arm. Insert the included wedge into the slit on the arm, then use a rubber mallet to gently tap on the wedge until the slit is large enough for the arm to slide onto the end of the sway bar. Make sure that the sway bar arm is pointing towards the ground and slide it on until it's fully seated. The sway bar should protrude past the end of the arm like so, and the Baja Ron text should be facing towards the outside of the bike. Once in place, remove the wedge and add removable thread lock to the Allen screw and thread it into place, finger tight to start. Then snug it down with a 3/16 Allen wrench. Grab the sway bar arm for the right side of the bike and use a 3/16 Allen wrench to remove the screw on the hex side of the arm. Insert the included wedge into the slit on the arm, then use a rubber mallet to gently tap on the wedge until the slit is large enough for the arm to slide onto the end of the sway bar. Remove the wedge and add removable thread lock to the Allen screw and thread it into place, finger tight to start. Then snug it down with a 3/16 Allen wrench. Add a spacer to the included wooden alignment dowel, then add an end link and a spacer to the other side, making sure that the tapered side of each spacer is facing inward towards the end link. Insert the end link with spacers into the channel underneath the A-arm on either side of the bike and slide the factory bolt through to secure it into place. The wooden alignment dowel will slide out as you push the bolt through. Then top it off with the factory nut, finger tight for now. Locate one of the lower end link bolts included with your kit and slide on an end link spacer. Then slide the bolt through the bottom of the end link and add another spacer, making sure that the tapered side of each spacer is facing inward towards the end link. Rotate the sway bar arms so that they're facing towards the front of the bike and so that the pinch points on the sway bar are facing down towards the ground, so that you can align the bolt hole in the arm with the bottom hole of the end link. Then slide the lower end link bolt through the billet sway bar arm and top it off with the included nut, finger tight for now. Then repeat for the end link on the other side. Add a spacer to the wooden dowel, then add an end link and another spacer. Again, making sure that the tapered side of each spacer is facing inward towards the end link. Insert into the channel on the bottom of the A-arm and install the factory bolt, pushing out the wooden alignment dowel. Then top off with the factory nut, finger tight for now. Locate the remaining lower end link bolt included with your kit and slide on an end link spacer. Then slide the bolt through the bottom of the end link and add another spacer, making sure that the tapered side of each spacer is facing inward towards the end link. Then slide the lower end link bolt through the sway bar arm and top it off with the included nut, finger tight for now. Now that everything is in place, we'll need to ensure proper alignment. To center the sway bar, you may need to push the plastic trim panel near the end of the sway bar in slightly so that you can reach the center position. You'll want to make sure that the pinch points on the sway bar are facing down towards the ground and that the outside of each pinch point aligns with the edge of each bushing block. Your end link should be vertical and not bowing in or out. Each sway bar arm should be completely seated with the sway bar protruding through the arm like so. Each arm should also be facing so that the Baja Ron text is upright on both sides, and the Allen screw securing each arm to the sway bar should be facing down towards the ground. If everything looks good, use a 10mm wrench and 10mm socket with ratchet to snug down your bushing block hardware. This should be tightened down until you see a ripple form in the center of the block like so. Then repeat for the block on the other side. Snug down your stiffener bolt on both sides of the channel with a 10mm wrench and 10mm socket with ratchet. Use a 13mm wrench and 13mm ratcheting wrench to snug down both your lower and upper end link hardware. Then do the same for the end link on the other side. Reinstall the plastic cover panel located here, reusing the 4 factory push pins. Lastly, reinstall the 2 remaining plastic cover panels, reusing the factory hardware. Each panel is held in place with 3 push pins and a T30 torque screw.
Now, if upgrading your Can-Am Spyder sway bar is on your mod list, make sure to head over to slingmods.com today and like and subscribe to keep seeing content just like this. I'm Jen, signing out until next time.